Quitting smoking can change your destiny. Many people's first reaction to these 4 words is that it's nonsense. Quitting smoking is just a matter of spending a little more money, coughing less, and saving on cigarettes. How can it be related to such a grand concept as changing your destiny? Isn't that an exaggeration? Hold on. If you've been a heavy smoker for 5, 10, or even more years, or if you're currently struggling to quit, please take 3 minutes to read this article. Frankly speaking, this might be the closest you've ever come to reshaping yourself. Why do we say quitting smoking can change your destiny? Because smoking is never just a habit, but a long-term form of mental enslavement. Quitting smoking is a desperate counterattack to reclaim control of your life. Let's peel back the facade and see what the real life of a heavy smoker is like. Every morning, the first thing they do upon waking isn't to embrace the morning, but to feel a dry, itchy throat and run to the bathroom to cough up a thick, grayish-brown phlegm. When traveling, whether on a high-speed train or in a long meeting, if it exceeds 2 hours, they start to feel anxious and restless, with only one thought in their mind: find a place to smoke on a cold winter night, even if it's below -10 degrees Celsius outside. Even if your wife and kids are warm and cozy inside, you still have to shiver like a drug addict and run to the balcony or hallway just to take a few puffs of cigarettes. You think it's because you can't live without cigarettes that you're being held so tightly by the scruff of your neck by a roll of paper less than 10 centimeters long and weighing less than a gram. From a professional physiological perspective, this is called nicotine hijacking. When you inhale a puff of cigarette smoke, nicotine reaches the brain in just 7 seconds, causing the brain to release dopamine, giving you a false sense of pleasure and relaxation. But this stuff is metabolized extremely quickly. Half an hour later, your dopamine levels will plummet, followed by emptiness, anxiety, and irritability. To fill this emptiness, you can only light another cigarette. Think about it carefully. The relaxation you feel from smoking that next cigarette is merely a way to alleviate the pain of quitting the previous one. It's like deliberately wearing shoes a size too small, squeezing your feet until they ache, and then taking them off and exclaiming, "Wow, that feels so good." Isn't that pure masochism? When you recognize this harsh truth, you'll understand why quitting smoking is like changing your destiny. You think you're changing more than just your body. You're changing your underlying cognitive system, self-control, and overall outlook on life. First, quitting smoking allows you to regain your peak physical condition. What does the adult world ultimately compete on? Energy and physical strength. Many smokers in their 30s feel easily fatigued, can't recover from a short all-nighter, and are breathless climbing stairs. You think it's because you're getting old, but actually, nicotine and tar are depleting your cardiovascular system day after day. After 3 months of quitting smoking, you'll find the whole world becomes clearer. Waking up in the morning, your mind is no longer groggy. Your sense of taste and smell are sharp again, and you rediscover that long-lost, refreshed, and energetic state. With this abundant energy, your efficiency will increase exponentially, whether you're making money, exercising, or studying. Secondly, quitting smoking is a top-tier reconstruction of willpower. There's an old saying in the business world: never mess with people who successfully quit smoking, because they're too ruthless to themselves. While this is somewhat of a joke, the underlying logic is correct. Quitting smoking is essentially a life-or-death battle between your rational prefrontal cortex and your primitive reptilian brain. Every time the craving strikes, when you feel an overwhelming urge, thinking, "Just one more puff," the last one, you grit your teeth and endure it, forcefully suppressing the desire. The psychological boost from this victory is enormous. The moment you successfully quit smoking, your self-efficacy will explode. You'll feel deep down that if you can quit something as difficult as smoking, what in this world can't you do? This powerful confidence and self-control will quickly spread to every aspect of your life. If you can quit smoking, you can lose weight. If you can quit smoking, You can calm down and read. If you can quit smoking, you can withstand the pressure when your career hits a low point. When you defeat nicotine, you are actually defeating the weak, compromising, and desire-driven self you once were. Finally, there is an invisible leap in wealth and social value. Let's do the most mundane economic calculation. One pack of cigarettes a day, at an average cost of 30 yuans, adds up to more than 10,000 yuans a year, and in 20 years, more than 200,000 yuans. This doesn't even include the cost of teeth whitening due to smoking, or the likely future medical expenses. Wouldn't it be better to use that money for regular investments, to pay for your children's tuition, or to take your family on a trip? On a social level, the social environment has changed dramatically. In the past, offering a cigarette was a way to break the ice. Now, being covered in cigarette smoke only makes people frown. When you quit smoking, you feel clean and refreshed. And you no longer have to interrupt important conversations by looking for a place to smoke. The label others attach to you will automatically change from a greasy, heavy smoker to an extremely self-disciplined and reliable person. This invisible social advantage can often determine who gets the opportunity at crucial moments. So, brother, stop using self-deceptive excuses like smoking relieves stress or some people who smoked live to 90 to numb yourself. True strong people never allow anything external to control their minds. If you want to quit smoking, don't try to tough it out with sheer willpower. You'll feel like you're losing something precious. You'll relapse sooner or later. You need to be completely awakened to the truth. Quitting smoking isn't giving up, it's liberation. You haven't given up anything good. You've simply killed a parasitic worm that sucked your blood, cheated you out of your money, and even tried to kill you. You're escaping from prison. You're regaining your freedom, starting today. Throw away your lighter, smash your ashtray. When you extinguish your last cigarette, don't feel regret. Shout in your heart, to hell with nicotine. From today onward, I'm in charge of my own life.